Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
So how would you like to achieve your first million? And today we're connecting with Alex from London. We are so happy because 80% of our guests are coming from United States, and it's very rare that we have an entrepreneur from London in our show. So Alex, welcome. Can you please introduce yourself?
Yes, Harry, thank you for having me. Lovely to meet another Londoner.
Oh, yeah. I'm so happy to have you here,
I
man.
know, what are the chances? So yeah, my name's Alex. I'm the founder of Inonda. I started the company in 2017. It was off the back of a sales career, so I've been in sales since I was 18. I'm 35 now, so time flies when you're having fun.
Oh, you look very young.
Oh, thank you. But yes, you're too kind. I started the company off actually being in sales in the exhibitions and events industry. So much like yourself, I was jet setting, flying all
Yeah.
around different locations that you'd not normally go to. And it gave me a lot of experiences. I got to work with SMEs, I got to work with enterprise types of businesses, understand how they do marketing, how they go to market. And I understood that at the time, digital was a force that people weren't leveraging as much as they could be. And that's kind of what made me start Inonda. We started helping companies with LinkedIn. And then over time, we started seeing opportunities to help them grow beyond LinkedIn, help them with their sales process, help them go to market, help them create offers that stood out from the noise that is out there. And that's kind of led me here today, Harry. So I'm looking forward to it.
But Alex, but why if you have a career in sales and here in London they pay good money to the people with your skill sets, yeah?
Yeah,
Why
yeah.
did you decide to become an entrepreneur? You have very comfortable life here and doing your events, you do your things and selling, you make good money in this country if you have this skill. So why you give away your security to do something really risky to have your own business?
That's a very good question, Harry. That is an awesome question. So I think the reason why there was two different reasons, right? So when I was at the end of, let's say when I started in Onda, I was in sales, but I didn't enjoy it
Oh, you
actually.
work for Honda?
No. I worked for this company called Informa, but at the time,
Ah,
I'd been in sales for 7 years, working from company to company, and I got to a point where I wasn't happy in the sales environment. I wasn't enjoying it, and I decided that I would start one last company. I'd started two companies before they didn't go too well, and I thought, you know what, I'll give it one last shot. I'm gonna do this, and if I'm gonna do sales, it's gonna be for myself. And
wow.
yeah, that's what caught me well, that's what drove me to make that decision, right? And what I discovered through that journey of starting my own business is that I actually love sales because in business you get to work in operations, finance, you know it. You get to work in every type of vertical and you wear many hats. And what I found is that I love to speak with people. I love to understand them and hear more about what they were doing and become more of a consultant and an advisor. And I think that was the missing piece, that I was more of an order taker and I wasn't pushing myself as much as I could be. And I think business forced me to do that. So it forced me to level up my sales ability. And from that, I also discovered that whilst money was the main motivation at the start, I slowly found out as I grew a team that I was actually more enthusiastic about the team's progression. And that's what motivated me and that's what motivated my company and that's what motivates me to get up in the mornings as well to till this day is more how can I affect the bigger grand picture of what we're in right now. So I think to answer your question, I think being able to take control of my own destiny and have it how I want it is the reason why I'm not going into a sales role, and I'd rather do this myself and help other companies build their sales teams. So
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah, but thank you so much for sharing this. I really appreciate that not so many people, are vulnerable and share things that you share. Number one, that if you started a couple of business before that they didn't work, we all have been there. If I tell you all the business that I have done that I failed and how much money I lost, you will start crying.
Yeah.
I will depress you right now, so we're not gonna go there. So it's part of the journey, yes. Until you find. I remember I opened a restaurant in Brick Lane, yeah. I call
Oh
it Happy
wow.
Funny Stuff, and what a nightmare, yeah. I even put the name right and call it Lola or Pepe. I decided to call it Spanish and put my name, that is Harry, that look more British. Anyway, it was a mess. I lost 200,000 pounds. It was a disaster.
That, that that's a tough game though.
Yeah.
That
So, boy,
hospitality
when I
business.
get things wrong, I'm doing, So, but I discovered out of this process, I learned more about business in this restaurant
Mm,
than actually in the business that we have property. We have things here in London that make us millions. Do you understand what I mean? So
100%.
sometimes the other day I was in a conference, you won't believe, and one speaker was saying, "No, you know what, guys? I have a friend that has opened 4 business, and he failed in the 4 business. You shouldn't invest in this friend because common sense, track record." And I'm looking at the guy and I said, "Man, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? If this guy already tried 4 times and he failed and still is keep going and the thing, introduce me this guy. This guy, we only need to put him in the right track. This guy want to make it no matter what. Where is this guy? What are you talking about? No track record or investor? What you talking? Nobody want this guy. Give it to me for goodness sake, because it's so strange to find people with this drive. I just need to put this guy in the right track, man. It's already fired up already. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
sometimes you listen people saying things, and probably that they never have a business before, they never been a business before. They read in a book and then go out to do conference. And one thing is to talk about business by reading a book. Completely different is about actually doing it. Make sense? So
Yeah, no. One of my friends actually, a very good friend of mine, and he's more motivational than even he knows. And one of the sayings that he came out with out the blue, and it stuck with me ever since, was that the amount of people that even try in the first place is very little. The ones that keep going is even smaller. So from you just to keep going, it puts the odds in your favor because there's very few people that actually continue. So your friend who,
absolutely.
failed and keeps going, I think that is a testament to perseverance and
Alex,
resilience.
that big character. That's why we almost have some of the same surnames, that big
That's
character.
it, you know.
Failure's big character. But also, Alex, tell us a little bit more about the other day, I cannot mention the name. I was speaking with the sales director for a tech company,
Mm,
and the guy was telling me, "Harry, you won't believe that the company hasn't shared with us yet our commissions." And it's a tech company. You're talking about, a lot of money. Yeah. And so a sales team that can sell the clients, the contracts are 1 million plus. Yeah.
wow.
And I'm like, man, who are these people managing this? My salespeople in my company, they are gold. I just tell them, what do you need? Are you okay? Do you need red carpet? Do you need the taxi home? What, my goodness. It's the same people. This is, you need to put the red carpet to the same people. This is the nature of the whole thing, and the other thing, the company is when something goes wrong in the company, oh, let's cut budget in sales and marketing. I'm like, what? How do you think this is gonna end up? If you're not doing well and your first decision is to cut the budget in sales and marketing. So, what message you have, Alex, for these people there that they are managed big organization? You've been in there. We're not gonna mention them, but you also have worked in big organization here in United Kingdom or whatever, and the salespeople, which is actually the blood of every business, right?
Mm.
They sometimes are the last thing in the whole thing, and I don't care. I'm gonna take my time to decide how much commission I'm gonna pay him extra. And I'm like, man, You say people, doesn't work like this. So what message do you have for the people out there that doesn't take sex seriously and don't motivate the same team?
That's a yes, again, you're hitting them out the park here, Harry. This is I'll break this down because this is a very interesting point. So in terms of the sales team, you need them motivated. And just let's go back to the concept of sales. So sales has allowed me to keep the business running, right? Because with the ability to generate leads and make sales, that means no matter your back end and your product, you have time to improve it and build upon it and enhance it, make it better. If you don't have that functionality on the front end, then it's going to fail as a business. But sales buys you time because sales is cash flow. Cash flow is lifeblood to the business,
Absolutely.
right? And if and you know what, to your point, I've heard of and I know people who have been in even more interesting and fascinating situations where they've overperformed in companies and been let go. So imagine that going over
Oh,
target.
he said,
And yeah, so
that's
that's
why, man, you need to help. And now I understand why you open your own company. Now I get
yeah, well, yeah, maybe that's the case, Harry.
it.
But I think it's very important that you do motivate sales teams and sales individuals and team members in general. But what I found from working in bigger organizations that I think that they could lend or understand a bit better is just the culture. So I think as you get a bigger company, it's very hard to replicate a culture of a small business because you are very intimate, you're working together. It's not cutthroat, you're in it together. And I had a really good, interesting chat with Royal Marine, someone that had been there, done that, and that's life or death situations.
Mhm.
And he always, well, he spoke about the importance of team, and it's not about one person, it's about the team unit performing together because you can achieve and accomplish so much more together than you can singularly.
Mhm.
So I
Absolutely.
think, yeah, it's difficult. I mean, at that level, you should be paying out some ridiculous commissions.
Absolutely.
Yes. If you're a small
Absolutely.
business, like there's different parts to it. If you're a small
Different.
business, you need a team that is going to help you and stick with you through thick and thin and see the longer term vision. And in all instances, there needs to be some reward that is out there. And the reward can come in many facets. And yeah, money is definitely a big one. But just being appreciated in your role, being recognized as
Mhm.
well. These things are really important, I think. And one
Mhm.
story I have is that I was the youngest sales rep in an organization, and I was the only one to be promoted from telemarketing to sales. And they gave
Oh,
me these exhibitions. And I remember 1 month there was 40 sales reps, all senior sales reps that have been there for 10 years. And I'm this young kid that comes in and I didn't know what to do really, but I was just hammering the phone and I had my work rate on level 10 and I hit target and I was the top performer for that month. And I got a little trophy and that trophy meant a lot to me. It was plastic.
absolutely.
It was
Recognition.
really, yeah, it was it was a piece of recognition that sometimes money can't replace. And I think that's something that you need to balance, right? You need to have both in abundance in your organization, and that's what's going to help your team grow. And I think a happy sales team is a happy business, in all honesty. So,
Absolutely,
yeah.
and we need to talk a little bit more about this because this we had to demystify the issue with sales, right? Because when I got some people that know me say, "Oh, Harry's always selling something." I'm saying, "Of course, I'm always selling something." What do you? What if this is what you're expecting from me from now on until you met me? You absolutely I'm always selling something. You know what I mean? But anyway, I have sharing your story. I also have a friend that you used to work in corporate in outside non-UK, right?
Hmm.
And he's supposed to get paid like a quarter of million in commission, and the company decided that was better idea to let him go and to pay the commission. And the woman have a deal behind this deal that she would get this big commission. By the way, was one of the biggest commission in the whole history of the. We're talking about corporate, yeah. The deal that she closed, and this deal is supposed to be, I think, like for I don't know how many millions, but it was an opportunity to make 10 times more because it was linked with another big company and everything. And because they fired, the company lost this opportunity plus what she was coming bringing. And they decided that was more financially viable to let her go, don't pay the commission. Because of the paperwork, the lawyers and everything, they knew that, that she doesn't gonna fight for it. And, so unbelievable what you hear about this. But let's face it, yeah?
Yeah, well,
Yeah, go ahead.
sorry, no, that's a good point that you mentioned because I know with public speaking as well, and with sales and with a lot of things in life, it's relationships, right? So that's the thing that that company missed out on, and I've heard that similar instance in a lot of other scenarios where
You
they could
see, I
get.
got the and it's so sad, and
Mm,
people don't know. I don't understand what is so difficult to understand, right?
mm,
That let me give you an example. When I started my first business in property, right?
yeah.
I had to do everything, right? Because I have no money, so I have to wear all the hats. I had to be the sales person, I had to be the marketing person, I had to be the product person, I had to be the the accountant, I had to be everything, yeah. But you know what happened? At some point, I increased my sales. And you know what happens when you increase your sales? You can hire better people than you to do the job. The first sales people that I hire, I'm like, man, how come you doing this so easy? And how come you selling this for so much money? They were selling more expensive than me, more easy than me, and I'm shocked. And because I have the first people that I hired was salespeople that brought more sales. So now you have, but I end up with hiring everybody better than me in the company until a point I was on point in the company that was not needed anymore. I would used to go to the office and they would tell me, Harry, go home. I said, like what? I said, go home. I said, do you need paper for the photocopy? Go home. Everything is fine. The whole company was running to violence because they were all so good. And but
But
all
that's
this,
lovely, yeah.
all that freedom, yeah.
Mm.
Actually, because I was bored, the company was going out to pilot, and I was bored. I had nothing to do. Then I go and open restaurant in Brick Lane and I lost 200,000. This is me, yeah. But you know what I mean? Because I was not needed in my own office. Do you understand?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Running
yeah. But
everything.
that's music
But
to
but
your
but
ears,
the
right? You're
but the
doing
thing
something
is,
right.
that
Mm.
yeah, I should go on holiday. And instead, I decided to 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 open the first halal Spanish tapas in Brick Lane. Now you go to Brick Lane, 50% is alternative food. This
Yeah,
didn't come from the sky. Harry started this trend. I think everybody was waiting for me to collapse, and I said, you know what?
exactly.
I think it's a good idea to bring different kind of food. I think this Harry has very good idea. He just wait way too early. But this is, and now you go to Brick Lane, 50% of the restaurants are Mexican, whatever. Oh my God, I was alone. I was the first one there. What a headache. Anyway,
Yeah,
so
you're a trendsetter, Harry. That's the thing. And sometimes when you're first, it's
oh yeah, yeah. When people come to me, I'm the first. Nobody had this idea. I'm like, whoa, be careful because could be that you're gonna have a unicorn and you're gonna make billions, but could be that there is no need for this thing. That's why nobody has created. So you
good.
have to be
Be
careful when
comfortable with
somebody
that.
say, I have this great idea that nobody has it. I'm like, when everybody's excited, I'm like, oh, tell me a little bit more about because I have having unique ideas. I have a little bit of experience on this. And
Yeah, yeah. It was
sometimes
different.
it's so unique that there is no need for it. Yeah. Or you are too early.
Yeah,
And
big risk, big rewards, I think.
yeah, or
That's
you're
it.
too early. Sometimes, when you're too early, we see in the social media, right? That you have some social media, like, for example, this TikTok. I remember back in the day that the kids was using this thing to put that dance videos there.
Mm,
That's how I remember TikTok.
hmm.
And now the thing is huge. I'm looking at like even me. I had to get inside the thing. My team is saying, "Harry, we need to get you in TikTok." I'm saying, "What's that? This is not the place that the kids dance." And then, no, Harry, no, it's amazing. You see a lot of people now business there. And I'm like, what? Anyway, so Alex, the whole point is that people don't take sales and marketing seriously,
Mm,
and then without realizing that this can actually buy you freedom
hmm.
to do whatever you want in life.
Hmm.
Nothing else. Sales and marketing. Nothing else can buy freedom from your company. The other time, because you only can be free from. If this is what you wanna do. Uh, if you want to have freedom in your life, yeah, and to go to travel or to do whatever you want, the only way that you have to do it is by increasing your sales, by having more leads, by to converting those leads and to having more sales. So why is so difficult to explain it to people? And I think it's because of the myth and the bad conception of sales, right? Like, oh, these people is always selling, these people this, and look, 80% of the business is sales and marketing. What are you talking about? If you don't like to sell, you have a problem with sales, you cannot be in business. This is until the first sales, until the sales, and this is in the economy that we live,
Hmm.
nothing happens until the sale is made.
Hmm.
Once the sale is made, everything starts to motion. The employees, the tax, the government, the bosses, the politician, if there is no sale, nothing moves. So why do you think, Alex, that there is so much negative connotation about sales people, that there are more, oh, this guy is going to send me something, or oh, these people are sales people, I don't know about this. So do you have any book to recommend to them? Can you tell them some message? Can you explain them? Because men have tried for so many ways and I still don't understand. And I'm not telling you startups, I'm telling you big corporations,
Mm.
and you find the same scenario. So what's your view on all this?
Yeah. So a book to recommend that I could try and kind of spin off on is The Ultimate Sales Machine by Chet Holmes.
Mhm.
So this was a really fascinating read for me because it was about a guy who I think he worked in Oracle and he took over Oracle and it wasn't performing at the time and then he took it to the top performing company in the world. And what he did was he understood that, well, he understood the marketplace. He understood the target audience that they need to get in front of. And what he came up with was that if the audience that they reached out to and they spoke to understood and were educated enough, they would make the right decision, and the right decision was them. So they focused on an education first approach. And I think that what you're talking about is very because you're doing public speaking, right? You're teaching people to overcome one of the biggest fears in the world, which is getting in
I
front of
think,
an
yeah,
audience.
I think sales one too many, basically.
That's it, because it's the same concept, right?
Yeah.
It's that people, when you're in a sales environment, even if it's one to one, there's still that fear of rejection. And like yourself, who's probably been public speaking for a few years now and have had many instances being up on stage, it becomes more comfortable. But that first time you get up on stage, much like when you first make a sales call, it's very daunting.
Mhm.
It's very
Of
terrifying
course,
because you
of
don't want to
course.
feel that feeling of rejection. It's amplified in, I feel, a public speaking arena, but that still sentiment is still felt when
Yeah,
you're
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
yeah, when you're doing any sort type of marketing activity or sales activity. So a lot of the time people feel like they're going to damage their brand, so they don't even take the first step to get their message out there, and then they don't get anything from it. And those that do, what they end up doing is focusing so much on what they have to sell rather than what's on of value to the person they're reaching out to in the first
I
instance,
agree with you.
that they do come across in that kind of sleazy way because
Mhm.
it's very transparent. You're just reaching out to me, you're just talking to me because you want to sell me
Mhm.
something. Rather than if you can switch it on its head and you can gift something out, you're going to be far more receptive to that, or the person you're reaching out to will be far more open to that type of messaging. And a lot of the work we do with companies is just about understanding what is the value that your business has to
Absolutely.
offer. And it's not just the thing you sell. There's
Mhm.
loads of things that are value to the people you're reaching out to that you can provide upfront to start off and kick off that relationship that will also make you feel comfortable. Because if you are in the mindset, and I'm sure you coach this as well, that you're providing value to the audience that you're going out to, and you're someone with experience, knowledge, and things that are going to help, it would be a disservice to keep that retained to yourself. It is important for you to actually reach out to the people that are going to benefit from what you have to share. So
Mhm.
if you can get that in internalized, then you stand a far better chance in sales, because then it changes from picking up the phone, sending a message, and having to make a sell to, hey, I'm looking for people out there that will have that I can help out. And that I think is the transition I had to make in sales, and that's what made me not really enjoy sales to really enjoy it because I felt like I was genuinely providing value. I was passionate about what I did. And
Absolutely.
that makes a big difference. I think that
And
needs to be.
yeah, and we make any difference for any anybody. And then, but the thing, Alex, is that I understand what you said, that people, there are a lot of sales company there, right? That they just said, "Oh, we are a sales, we're gonna help you to sell," but they're not doing the job. They're just doing
Mm,
cold calling and sending stuff. And yes, this could damage the brand, right?
mhm,
But what we need to tell to entrepreneurs is, look, you need to look out and find company like Alex that they do the job, yeah, because completely different book game is what you're doing, guys, analyzing the culture of the company, see what are the branding values, see what are the mission, everything. And then when you conducting the sales call or designing funnels or get them more links in LinkedIn or whatever, all this message, all this communication is aligned with the
mhm,
culture of the company, then it is not intrusive, right?
mhm,
There is something that, you call it permission for marketing, permission to, for sale. You have permission from the prospect to sales, right?
mhm.
And then, but I think that, yeah, it's easy to open, oh, I got my sales company tomorrow, yeah, and then I could call Pedro down Sevilla and said, look, I'm gonna bring you my client, give me a database, and then cold calling like crazy. Of course, the damage the brand.
Mm,
So
mhm.
absolutely, you can make some sales, but but you can ruin the reputation of
And
whatever. However, you have option B. You can find people like Alex. Say, okay, you know what? I'm sure you guys, before you do anything, or say, okay, who you are, guys. I want to know everything about you. I want to know everything about your culture, everything. And now let's gonna design something beautiful, and we're gonna attract the people smoothly and nicely here, right?
yeah, and don't get twisted. I'm not saying this as if I didn't do the first option. I
Of
am
course,
the guy that
absolutely.
would
Listen,
call through and
we all need to make a living here. And when you're an employee,
yeah,
and they pay your salary, so if your boss is telling you, man, you have to call and sell, what are you gonna do?
exactly,
You
exactly.
understand?
And that's
You're not gonna tell to your boss, or not, listen, we should analyze the culture or whatever. The boss gonna tell you, listen, you the call of these people said something or you're fired. So,
yeah, yeah.
you know
I'm
what I
too
mean?
busy delivering value. I'm too busy. Don't worry about
Probably,
this one.
probably
Yeah.
because you've been there. That's why you have your own company to do it in the other way. Because we've been there. Don't get me wrong. This company makes some sales and achieves and
Well,
can potentially damage the brand. It's depend on the company. It's depend on the business. Everything. Do you understand? Depend
yeah, it
data.
works though. It works. So all everything works, and if you're really good, and I was blessed with being so far in sales that when I did start my own company, I had that to lean back on, which I could just pick up the phone,
Mm,
make a call. It was like a philosopher's stone, and I was the alchemist. I could pick up the phone, make money, right? But what I learned over the time, and what made me appreciate marketing so much more, is that if you it's far more easier to attract bees with honey, right? So if you've got
yeah.
something that everyone wants,
Mm,
it's far easier to have a conversation in any type of medium. The distribution's still important, and the reaching out and the go-gettedness that you need is still very important. It's vital in that kind of role, but you need to be able to arm your team and your company with assets that are going to be easy to have that conversation, easy.
yeah. And
Yeah.
sometimes depend on the business. Depend on the thing. I have a friend that owns a company, and he makes a killer with cold calling.
Mm,
Harry, I have a cold calling. We do all cold calling and we sell. I'm like, what? That's how you sell, man. I say it's brilliant. I'm thinking, I never have in any of my business this cold calling thing working fine for me, but for him works amazing. So
mhm.
it depends on the nature of the business, depend what you're doing, depend, So I think that everything is different. However, something is clear. Okay, sales are important. Lead generation is important. Is key for the business to succeed. To succeed, is key to the companies to drive. And the reason why uh, large company, large startups fail is because they cannot sell the products.
Mm,
They don't have a beautiful product. I know a lot of tech company. I know a lot of people with amazing products. Some of them patent, some of them no patent. The best thing is they cannot sell it. And if you cannot sell it, you're gonna find investor. You cannot. Do you see what I mean? So, is you dead if you don't sell. And then the people realize how important is lead generation, sales, and marketing when they are in this stage. And this is the sad thing about it. Yeah. And I tell so many people before, and I to all the entrepreneurs that that's the first thing before they start a business. I'm telling them, say, listen, you need to keep 80% of your resources, money, and energy for sales and marketing. Put 20% in the product because you need to that product. You thinking that you're gonna out and sell it. It doesn't like this. Is product that you think is good. The only one who think that is good is you. You're gonna put this in the marketplace, and the marketplace they're gonna fix and correct the product for you. I remember when I started my first business, I was renting rooms here in East London, yeah, in close to West Ferry, yeah, close to Canary Wharf, and I have a property, and I'm renting my first room, and the person come and said, "No, I'm not taking the room." I said, "Man, why you don't take the room?" I said, "No, no, no. I need if it were painted, I will take it, but this room is not painted. I'm not gonna take it." I'm like, after the guy left, I'm like, "Man, that's why you want to rent the room, to paint the room. I paint this tomorrow." So I went there and I paint the room. And then another person came and was a girl. And now the room was painting. And I said to the girl, "You want to take the room?" And the guy told me, "Oh, the room looks a little bit cold, it's not something warm. If it was a painting with flower at least, but this room is so cold like this. No, I'm not taking it." I went there and for £3 I bought the flower and for £5 I bought the painting and put in the room. Guess what? After the 5 times I rent the room. But it was the client who were telling me how to fix the product. It's not what I wanted. They were telling me, if you do it like this, I will buy it. So you do it like this, I will buy it. So this process, after you create your product and you put it in the marketplace and the client getting what we call a product market fit, this is not as easy as to paint a room and put a flower. This one you need 80% of your resources there to make that happen when you are starting a business, right? And boy, people made so wrong this. They put 80%, 90% of all the money in product development, and they're making this amazing, and and then when they're up to here, that they're about to die, and they realize that the important sales and marketing, this is now they're knocking your door, Alex. Help me. How can you help them?
Yeah. No, you hit the nail on the head there, Harry. There's so many companies doing that, and I see it time and time again. And I've encountered companies who have spent millions on product, and they're like, and they haven't made any sales, and they
Look at that.
and then they come with 1% of the money they've spent on product to try and drive sales, and it just doesn't work that way. So yeah.
I understand this is I just don't understand. But if you listen this podcast, we are projecting with the interviews of over 5,000 multimillionaires, right? Everybody's saying the same thing that we're talking about. Do you understand? So if you listen to multimillionaires, you see what they're doing. Everybody talking about the same thing. It's not like some you from UK, the other day one guy from US, the other day one kind of everybody's saying exactly the same thing you're saying.
Yeah.
So
it's the nice thing, isn't it?
I'm thinking, how come these people that are entrepreneurs, some people from New Zealand, people from Australia, some people from US, Canada, whatever, they never make it sure they have different time zones, they have different countries, and how come everybody's saying the same thing?
Yeah, I think
Unbelievable, man.
it's you get caught up in the fun stuff, isn't it? I remember meeting a friend. He had spent 10 grand on a website, and
oh my god!
again, I was just like, I know it's fun to design websites, and I know it's fun to come up with concepts and ideas and ideate and create, and that side is really enjoyable. And the hard work comes when you have to sell it and you have to deliver it and you have to sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it.
And a
And
nice website not gonna go. They need more. This is not even the starting point. You don't know
yeah,
the whole thing, the phone and the lead generation, the whole infrastructure, because it's had to be very creative as well to create
yeah.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I'm a
believe
big
you,
fan
Alex.
of MVP. Is
Yeah,
you test something, you launch it, you get market feedback, and you keep iterating until you get to a
absolutely,
point where it starts
absolutely.
generating revenue.
Yeah,
And then from there, you've got,
yeah,
you've got more
yeah.
of an idea of where to spend money as well.
Mm.
So
All the multimillionaires that we have interviews in this show, yeah, there is not even one single one that has been telling me, "Oh, I don't like sales, I hate marketing." No. When I said to this guy, sales and marketing, they're like, "Yeah, where I need to go." They're like, that's why they're multimillionaires. This is, you won't. I mean, we already interviewed 60, 70 people, probably, yeah, probably 70 people. Not even one had come to say, "No, Harry, I had a confession to make. I hate sales. I hate marketing. I don't like it." No, I haven't met any multimillionaire that tell me this. I don't think that I'm gonna meet him, because the reason that they're multimillionaires is because they love sales marketing. That's why they're multimillionaires. Do you understand what I mean? And the other
yeah,
thing is the
yeah.
following, right? A lot of people, right? And this is Ale, you've been there, yeah, and you know what I'm gonna share, yeah. Like a lot of people, they are out there and they have money problems,
Mhm.
and you know what? If you have money problem and you learn how to sell, you won't have money problem in your life anymore. You will have another problem. Maybe your kids don't talk to you. Maybe don't speak with your wife. Maybe you get divorced. Of course, you will have other problems in your life. But that problem, money problem, that one in particular, if you learn how to sell, you're not gonna have it. And I
Yeah.
know a lot of people, with PhDs, with doctorates, with everything, and they're always broke. And I said, man, you're reading thousands of books about so many different things, and you always broke. Why you don't read a book about salesmen and learn something? You will see how this problem that you have, learning about this, do you understand it? Because once you learn this skill, because as you, it's a skill, and that's the other thing as well, right? Like is the more you practice, the better you become, right?
Mm.
Alex is not a genius in sales. Harry is not a genius in sales. The problem is that Alex have been working in the industry for a long time, from employee to whatever. So the skill he has,
Mm.
it comes with experience. It's not like it's like driving and swimming. The more you practice, the better you become. Yeah. After I give my conference, the people go there. I say, Harry, this conference was amazing. Was so inspired. I clap so much. You are the best. And the only thing I'm thinking, I said, man, if you knew that I had done this over 1,000 times, that's why I'm so good. You think that I'm good because like this, but if you knew that I had done this so many times, that's why it's good. It's not because Harry is whatever is Harry. The more you practice, the better you become. It's a skill based, right? And
100%. Yeah, no, no, it's very true. It's like a safety blanket, isn't it? When you know how to sell, you know that no matter where you are or what you do, you'll be able to make money. And I think that's very powerful
it's a
and
vehicle.
comforting.
It's a vehicle. You can amplify as much as you want. If you want more freedom, whatever. If you want to make millions, you just amplify that. But sooner or later, whoever get these skills that you have, right, they will have a chance in life to solve the money problem issue. That I
Yeah,
think,
and
is a problem for a lot of people, right?
yeah, and on the flip side, so you've got these startup companies that are investing heavily into product. They need to build the sales infrastructure, and they're struggling to do that. On the other side, you've got the companies that are already quite successful, and but it's been built up from referrals and partnerships. So they don't have the sales skills internally. And what they later
Absolutely,
find out is that
absolutely.
they also don't have that safety blanket because they're reliant on another mechanism that is not in their control. And then again,
Absolutely, very
yeah,
risky.
Yeah. So they don't have that peace of mind, and also as a business, the investability of a business that's got one or two or clients or is reliant on an external source to drive sales and drive revenue, it's not as interesting to the investor as if you've got
No,
the
absolutely not.
capacity inside and you've got a system to bring in business consistently day in, day out.
No, because
And yeah,
number
that,
one is the worst number in business. One supplying, one source of clients, one source. When we spoke with the business, we tell them all the time, minimum 12 marketing strategy, 12 pillars, how you bring in your clients. That's
mm,
how you roll this. That's the kind of infrastructure, the kind of foundation that you have to put in place
mhm,
properly if you want this to work. And the people, oh, how are you
100%.
crazy? You think I'm crazy? Number one is, the clients, and a lot of law firms, they have this, know how to get all my clients by referral. Yeah, you get all your clients because you have worked so hard and you have done so good job and everything, and you're getting just a portion of this thing. But with the good job you do and everything, man, you
Exactly.
could be making 20 times more.
Exactly.
20 times more because you
Your
do.
product is proven now
Your
because you're
product
getting
is
referrals.
amazing.
Yeah,
It come from
you've got an
referral.
amazing product.
Every
Yeah.
time that somebody tell me, all my clients come for referral, I'm, oh my God, man, how much money you leaving on the table? And they're like, what? I said, you don't have any idea how much money you leaving on the table if all your clients come for referral because you have a very good product. Clearly, your clients are happy. So
Mm.
you should be making 10 times more money. Was we have with law firms, with few business, we get that. Okay, Alex, the question that everybody is waiting for you to answer. What are the 5 steps to make your first million?
So I think, Harry, the way I can break it down from my experience is that with a B2B business, this is what I know, right? So I'm going to speak from what I
Yeah,
understand.
yeah, yeah.
So the first thing that you need to do is understand who you are going out to. So this is the most important step you'll take, and I see a lot of people glance over this, which is that they feel that they know who they're going out to, but they don't actually know them in depth. So they don't know what their pains are, what their desires are, what their needs are, what's keeping them up at night, what's their day-to-day look like. Once you understand this, it allows you to build a much better picture and marketing material, sales strategy, all of that comes from this one mechanism. And for me, starting out, I would put that down on paper. A lot of people have it up here. I would map it out because writing also gives you clarity. And I think that is something that's very important because what you feel you know isn't what actually comes down on paper when you start taking that exercise. So mapping out your ideal customer persona, making sure you understand them in depth, that would be my first step, right? The second step I would kickstart off immediately after that in very quick succession would be how do I get my message out there? So I would start thinking about distribution. So what are the levers I can pull to get my message now that I know who it is that I need to get in front of? I know their pains, I know their desires, I know what keeps them up at night, I know what their goals are, what they want to achieve. How do I get my message in front of them? So for us, what we use is LinkedIn, we use email, we use calling, we use ads. All of these mechanisms are the levers we pull to distribute our message. So that's what's going to generate us leads. So we're going to get responses back from people who have now encountered us. The next stage to that would be the assets that I would create. So now you've started to test out your message, you've started to get your market feedback, you've started to test out some angles to which you feel you can help them and provide value for them. Now you've gotten some market feedback, you can start detailing exactly what are the assets that you can work on to increase that lead flow and start driving conversions into booked meetings. So that would be my third step is how do I convert all of these leads into meetings? And that would follow closely by my fourth step, which is how to close those deals. So I would have a sales process
Very
and
important.
yeah, and I would make sure that every step of the lead generation, the meeting booking, and the sales process is mapped out so that it can be repeated day in, day out, day in, day out. It should be something that isn't, and I used to do this, very creative and very sporadic. It should be something that's detailed that you can follow and that you can closely pass off to your next in command. And then step 5 is the actual onboarding. I would make sure that every customer that you bring on is getting a wonderful experience because whilst your front end is very important, it's just as important to continue that relationship. And I think a lot of people they feel that the sale is done once they close business, they sign an agreement. No, my friend, that's when it's just started. So you really need to put in the additional legwork to service that opportunity. And I think if you're doing those 5 steps, if you're narrowing down your ICP, your ideal customer persona, you're distributing your message as best as you can with as many mechanisms as you can, you're distributing the assets that will drive value in front of those people and get their attention and convert those into meetings and welcome them on board and have an explanation and a reason why for them to start business with you, and then making sure that you deliver on that promise. That I think if you do those 5 steps day in, day out, you get the results you're looking for.
That's fantastic, Alex. And then clearly you know what you're doing and you know what you're talking about. Yeah. So if somebody that have an startups and they need more sales B2B, right? And they want to have a conversation with you, they want to find out if you guys are the right fit for them. I know that you clearly know what you're talking about because you know when you're in this industry, you can know by how they talk who has done it and who hasn't. So, so Ale, how people can find you guys? How the process work? Let's say I have a startup, then I'm listening this podcast and I say, okay, I listen these guys and I think that what they say makes sense. So this is what I'm gonna do. I have this budget, so I'm gonna get 20% for product for design a product, and then I'm gonna put 80% in marketing and sales. Yeah, and then they decide, okay, and I like this Alex a lot, so how can they find you? How the process work?
Yeah, so it's very simple. Inonda.co.uk, so it's INONDA, that's Delta Alpha.co.uk. It's actually Italian for live and on air, so it's
Yeah, very
related
good.
to podcasting. And you just go there, you'll find more information about us. What you'll find in resources that will be helpful for anyone is Sales 3.0. It's a book that I co-wrote with my head of marketing, Peter, a couple years ago, but the message still stands in terms of how to use and leverage digital technology in this day and age to get in front of the right people in the right way and start generating leads straight away. So that's a free resource that if you're not doing anything on LinkedIn or you're not reaching out or you don't have an outbound sales mechanism, if you read through that, you'll be able to launch one in the week. And if you need additional help, we do have a drive demand community, and that is something that we've placed personal training videos on. We've got personal sessions there with myself and my team.
Amazing.
And then if you want, an extra level of service, then you just need to book in a call with us and we can have a run through. No matter
So how they book the
you're
call,
at.
Alex? They go to a website or how they book the call?
Inonda.co.uk, just book in the website. There's a link there. Sorry, book in the call, link there, book in the time. You'll speak to either myself or one of my team. And then we take it from there. We'll understand your business. We'll dig deeper into what your goals are, any challenges you're facing. And yeah, we'll at the very least give you some insight into what you can do straight away.
Absolutely. Alex, thank you so much for your time. I know your time is very valuable. You've been so kind to stay with us and to provide this valuable content for our audience. And I'm so happy that you're here in UK. Yeah, so I'm gonna be traveling soon, but when
Yeah,
I
when
come
you're back.
back, if I'm still around, we go for a coffee
Of
when
course.
and we have some fun. We have the same surname and we have some and we love sales. Yeah, so I
There
love
you go.
sales, and every people that I know love sales, so we are gonna be fine. And I think that we should put, this job that you're doing with the community. Yeah, it's about educating, right? And about I think that it's harming a lot. People, when you don't know what you don't know, is knowledge is everything, right? If you get Richard Branson, for example, right, and you take today all his money and everything and you put it on the street, yeah, in a year, 6 months, he's multimillionaire again, right? So why he has knowledge, right?
Mhm.
And I think that there is very poor knowledge out there about how important marketing and sales are to be a successful entrepreneur. And I think it's our mission to doing what we're doing now, educating, right? And raise awareness that this is reality. This is no, this is reality. 90% of all the startups out there, 95%, they are doing exactly like we're saying. They're putting all the money, unless there's somebody with sales experience and everything. It's in the team or the co-founder or whatever. If it's not, everybody's designing this amazing product. And it's a shame because, I mean, it's sad because people lose money, lose the company, it didn't work. Like you said, not so many people have the energy to do it again. So then they go back to the work and then they live a life that, that probably it was not meant for them, right? So it's our job to raise awareness. So thank you so much, Alex.
No worries, Harry, man. It was my pleasure. It's awesome.
Pleasure, man. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Catching you soon.
And for you guys, for Anthony, give me a second. Yeah. So and for you guys to watching the Unstoppable podcast. Yeah. See you in our next episode. How brave entrepreneurs achieve the first million. Bye for now.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.